Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining the user group. This is mainly the agenda for this user group is we have made a major release recently. This is like combining a lot of our versions. There were clients in different versions. So we have combined those features into one single release. We will see how this release as such is going to benefit all of us, you as our customers, and to serve you better from our side as well. And we will also demo certain features we have implemented in this release. So probably, yeah, we will start off. Okay. Why this release is important is because we have achieved a major milestone in combining a lot of our various sources into a single source now. What that means is going forward, we will have an improved maintenance mechanism for all of our clients, and your tickets in the backlog will be a turnaround a little more faster than previously. That is because we will not have to actually fix it in one version and bring it into another version and then do the regression in multiple versions before it reaches you. So those kind of time is drastically changed with this release, and then we can accommodate more support tickets in the future releases. And your upgrade process also will be more smoother and faster without much of issues from your side finding out during the UAT. And this release is actually available now. And if you are ready to deploy that, you can take it as soon as after this meeting itself. Okay. So I will just touch upon what are the major or minor features which we have implemented in this release. Apart from this, there are a lot of tickets also, the support tickets also, which has gone into this release. But what I'm going to demo today is the improvements or features which we have added to this release. And some of these features, actually, one or two of our customers who are present here would have already got this, but not majority of the clients or customers haven't received this so far. And I hope it will be beneficial for you in future. Okay. First, I'll just take you through just a highlight of this, and then we will go into the demo session. So on the shareholder name and percentage in the counterparty information, now it is possible for you to actually add shareholder's name and the percentage of shares they are holding in the counterparty form itself. You can add up to there is no limit for how many number of shareholders you can add, but the percentage will be limited to 100%. You can either add the existing counterparties in the CRisk application which you have added, or it can be any other counterparty which you want to add. And there are two new fields which we have added, which are legal status and date of incorporation of that particular counterparty. We also have improved the verification mechanism to control the verification mechanism in counterparty. We will see that in detail when we demo that. We also have an option to exclude certain features only from the 4i verification. We also have a feature where the new counterparties, as soon as you set up the counterparty, if you don't need to take it through the 4i verification. We have a feature available now. And on the contact side, now it is possible to add multiple credit contacts. Previously, it was just one contact and the system was preventing you to add multiple contacts, multiple credit contacts actually. So those are some of the features which we have added to Counterparty. Now moving on to margining enhancements. We know that we have a feature to take the margining parameters, CSA parameters from the ratings. So threshold, independent, and MTA can be derived from the rating matrix which is available. It was limited to S&Ps and Moody's previously. We have also added Fitch rating now. So lowest of S&P, Moody's, and Fitch will be taken for deriving the parameters if you are using the CSA matrix. There is also a field now to add your credit support provider for our entity. Previously, we had a feature to or field to add the counterparty's credit support provider. And now it is also possible to add our entity credit support provider. What this means is if we need to the rating matrix of our entity will also be taken from credit support provider of the R entity if you have configured one. There is a small improvement on the user notification when there is a demand available, and if you're trying to change an independent amount, then user will be notified that you have to recalculate the demand if you change the independent amount. We also have more improved dispute processing when there is a disagreement or when there is a dispute in the call. And on the CSA exposure calculation, if any of you want to add a PFE add-on based on the add-on which is configured on the deal type, the exposure will now be taken from a calculated value on the PFE. And on the bulk margining side, there was no option to actually select or deselect all of the margin calls available in the margin desktop. The user has to actually click one by one margin calls to process that. Now that feature is available. On the scoring side, this is mainly the model design side, which we may have to do. So there is post-approval procedures added to scoring models. So if you think that after the approval of a certain assessment, certain model, and you need to update, for example, the last credit assessment date and next credit assessment date directly onto the party form, or you need to update the assessment to a different system through an XML. That is possible through a post-approval command now in the scoring models. And calling an API is possible within the score sheet itself. Say, for example, you need to update an external rating or something coming from an external system to the scoring model. We can have an interface first configured to bring in that data, and the API can be configured within the scoring model, which will bring in that data into the score sheets. There is also rich text support available now in score sheets, where when you want to add company profiles with a bit of formatting and add some graphs or charts inside that rich text, some of the comment field or company profile field, we can convert that to a rich text element, and then that is possible now. On the workflow side, And reporting side, the broker instructions now can be sent as effect a standard report. So previously it was just a report which you can generate from the CRisk application, can be sent to the broker. Now we have made a enhancement where the broker instructions can be sent through the effect formatting directly to the brokers. On the workflow side, currently we have a set of fixed workflow items, and that's the only thing what you see in the credit event desktop. And if you want to configure any custom-made workflows, right now that is possible with this release. It is just about configuring certain SQL queries, whichever you want to see. Say, for example, a netting agreement, expiry date or LC expiry date. Currently, it is 60 and 30. And if you want to say a little more a customized date range there, you can do that with this dynamic workflow configuration. And if there is a dynamic workflow configured, you can also use filter by logged in analyst on these workflows. So that is, those are the features which we have currently implemented in this release. I'll just take you through the system and show you that how that looks in the system. Before I go into the demo, do you have any questions?
If you have any questions, please write it down because you will not be able to unmute yourself. So if you use the chat, then I can, based on the request, I can unmute you.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so just open. The first one, what I'm going to show is the shareholder percentage. We have the ability to actually capture the shareholders and their percentages. This is in hierarchy tab, where you can see that we can add the shareholder company name and the percentage in which they are holding. You don't need to put the symbol there, just the numbers. It will hold up to 100% here. You can either add an existing party from here, or you can add a completely new party. So there is a validation when it is going beyond 100%. There will be a validation which is shown, and it supports all the language settings. Okay, and now we also have this legal status added to the counterparty form and date of incorporation of the company, which can be added.
Pramitha, there is a question from Alex.
Yeah.
How can the data for shareholders be populated? only on screens, or can we also upload it somewhere in Excel? So that's the question. So
Uh, okay, currently it is only from the UI. So we can see that as an improvement, isn't it, Rohit?
yes, we can take it
Yeah.
as an improvement.
Yeah, we will note it down. And then currently it is only through the UI. You have to actually add it one by one here.
Yes. And there is another question. Are
Yeah.
percentages affecting hierarchy, or are they independent?
It's independent. This is not used for creating the hierarchy. This is just that we are storing or showing this feature in this table, but there is no dependency on the hierarchy as such here.
That's it. I think we can continue.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, yeah, we were talking about legal status and date of incorporation. Two new fields which are added to the counterparty form. And also on contacts, we have a feature. Previously, it was limited to adding only one credit contact, and currently, with this release, it is possible to add multiple. This is also possible on the R entity form configuration. And now on the 4i approval side, okay, probably some of you will not have access to this configuration screen. I'm just to explain, I'm just showing this. Okay, so the 4i verification is more flexible now in the sense you can exclude a new counterparty, newly created counterparty from the 4i verification. You can exclude the group flag from the verification. You can also check exclude the active flag from verification. So that is configurable now. And on the rating side, we have we can exclude all of the rating or include all of the rating. So, and also you can include only the external rating for a verification. You can also include only internal rating for verification. So those kind of flexibility is available with this release. So when you say exclude new instance from verification, except the limit, everything else will be excluded from verification. You just create a counterparty, then add the basic details, and except limit, you can add rating also, and then it just get saved without verification, like credit analyst or a country, for example, that will get verified, automatically verified. It doesn't need a 4i approval. Okay, so that is, okay, probably we can check that new instance part. This says exclude new instance from verification. So if I just So until I close and open, I can still change this. It doesn't go into verification. If I close and open, that is when this new counterparty will become available for verification. But at the same time, if I try to enter any of the limit, it will go into verification. So that is excluding new party for verification. Now we will go to the margining part. Okay, so here credit support provider, we have added this credit support provider for our entity also. That is possible. Here, credit support provider in the parameters. So if you see, the Fitch rating is added now. And if we are selecting threshold using the Fitch rating for counterparty, the lowest rating will be picked up. You can see that the lowest rating is picked up, which is nothing but the Fitch rating. A plus is a Fitch rating. So that is what is taken for calculation. So that's another change. And also, if we have our credit support rated, because we have added this new field, our credit support, the rating of that will be taken for our calculations if it is rated. Okay. So, and on the PFE add-on, this is already available for one of our client. There is, so we can add the available deal type, which are already selected for CSA. We can add one of them. And sorry. Specifying add-on. So we can add any of the deal types which are actually added to the CSA and specify the percentage of add-on which has to be added for calculation. So what will happen is this add-on percentage will be added to the unrealized market value, and then the PFE will be taken. I'm not sure whether how far I was audible. So what I was saying is the deal type we can configure to specify the add-on percentage here, and then the market value, unrealized market value, will have this 10 percentage of add-on added to that market value or the PFE what we have, and then that will be the exposure which we see here along with for other deal type anyways we haven't added. For other deal types it will be the normal exposure, but for the deal types which we have configured add-on, it will have that added exposure to this exposure what we see. And we can also see the details in the exposure breakdown report for which all deals which we have added the add-on percentage. That's an exposure change. We just need some configuration for this to be available. And the margining. So if you see on the bulk processing, we have these options of select all and deselect all. This is currently added with this release so that when you have more calls to be processed on a particular day, then we have option to select all of them together instead of going one by one. That's a small feature which we have added to margining. Now on the scoring side, we have this post approval command configurable now. So okay, if for example what I'm trying to configure currently is just to update the last assessment date and next assessment date as soon as a particular model is a score sheet is approved. Okay, so for that what we need is to configure the post approval command under. There is a post approval command. This is a stored procedure which will be called on approval of a particular score sheet. So I've just configured this for limit model. So I've just configured procedure has a logic just to update the last assessment date and next assessment date. Last assessment date is nothing but today's date if I approve it today, and then next assessment will be 6 months. That's how I just created a post approval command. This can be used for anything. Not only that, you can use it for various other updates which you want to, or if you have any other um, requirements like to send out this approved data to any other system through an API or XML. You can do that also using this. So, okay. So limit model has this post approval command configured now. State party. Okay, so in this, if you see last credit assessment and next credit assessment is not there now. So this party has 2024 as last credit assessment and 2025 June 1st as next assessment. Is going to add sending it for approval. And since I cannot approve, I'm just doing some update from the backend. See that this is updated here, and the next credit assessment is also updated to 6 months from now, that is in June. So it's just an example. So any update you want to do on a counterparty based on approval on the score sheet, we can configure that. And you can also send out some data to some of the other systems. Is there a question, Rohith?
No questions as of now.
Okay, so that is one of the change what we have done in scoring. And there's also an option to actually call an API from the system. Say, for example, the configuration also I will show you. So we need a system interface to bring in that data. So here we have something configured API load data. This is just a test as of now. It doesn't do anything else but to update just one of the fields into test. We can bring in ratings, or we can bring in some other data to upload to the score sheet. But this is just to show you that this is possible through the scoring sheet. General model which is available for annual assessment. So during the score sheet modeling itself, we may have to do some configuration within that. So you can see that this API button is available. If you have more than one API call required for a particular sheet, we can do that. So this configuration has to be done on the scoring model itself. And now And this has an underlying interface, system interface, which is bringing in the data also. So if you see, if I just call this API, what this API does is just to overwrite this value to test. This is just to show you that this is possible to bring in data. So currently this is all, and then if I just call this API, so this will change into test. So yeah, we haven't configured the complete utility here. It is just that to show you that API calls can be integrated into the scoring sheet. Okay. So that is on scoring, and we also have rich text. Currently, I think it's not configured in any of the models here. As I mentioned earlier, it is just that if you want to add company profiles along with some graphs and pictures, that's now possible. We need to configure the existing scoring models accordingly. Now, on the workflow side, as I mentioned, we can now configure custom workflows. So, just for example, I've configured one here which says the party rated today, counterparties rated today. Okay, so it's just about writing small SQL, and we can bring in whatever data you want to see it as a workflow item. So when we go to the credit event desktop, see that these are the counterparties which are rated today. Gave some condition, which is why you are seeing everything in December. But if you want to do it for 30 days or any other, not only rating, any other workflow you want to configure, that's now possible. And it is also possible on a dynamic workflow group to actually filter based on if you have a credit analyst name coming up here, it is also possible to actually filter based on if I am looking at the workflow and if I want to filter only my events, that is also possible now. Yeah, so this is another change which we have done. And the effect XML is now available. So we have done it for one of our customer. It will be available in, for example, it can be configured trading report here, and then this is what you will see. This is just a sample. This is how we have maintained the effect standards, guidelines which we have received, and then accordingly we have this. So that is mostly from the features or improvements what we have done. Any questions are we getting, Rohit?
Pramitha, we have one question
Yeah.
from Shetty. Is workflow configuration available for all roles? Is the question.
Yeah, it is available for all roles. I mean, to configure or to view.
I think I can answer that. So if you want that to be, Sheetal, if you want that to be configured, if someone wants to configure it, it should be only an admin can configure that, and we can also share it across. Like we can configure it based on our module. We can design the modules like that. I mean the user roles, so that whoever wants to change the workflow, we can provide that access. But by default, only admins are available. Only admin can change the workflow configuration. And the workflow screen is basically available for all. Does that answer your question?
Any more questions?
When will the upgrade to 2025.3 system take place? We currently have only 2025.1 system running. So we will be, the package is available for you to upgrade. So Our support team will get in touch soon with you to get it upgraded. So the process will be like in a first 2025.2 will be installed and then we'll be installing 2025.3. So you can test both the releases together and take it if you're willing to.
So, if you have any more questions related to any of these features, you can also send it directly to one of us. We will get in touch with you with the answer. Now over to you, Rohit, for the
Yeah, should we
AI
take a five
session.
minutes break and then start with the AI user manual?
That'll be, yeah.
Yeah, let's we'll start again in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think everyone's back after the break, and we can start with the AI research and POC that we have done, and also one AI inclusion that we have made in the product. So, in the user council, we spoke a bit about the proof of concepts and the research that we are doing around AI. So, one of the use case that we discussed was the credit assessment assistance, where you will be able to upload the rating methodology plus the company financials and help you speed up the scoring process. And we try to help you fill up the scoring narratives and pick numbers and stuff. And another use case that we discussed was the use case to user manual, where we feed the CRisk user manual and we can ask a question and then we it responds back as for the questions that you are asking. So what we did is we went ahead and implemented the user manual so that it's easy for everyone to uh, use it, so that you don't have to basically uh, search and spend time finding the things in the indexes or anything. So it gives you, it's a comprehensive chatbot sort of thing, which is accessible directly from the CRisk website, and you will be able to see that, and you can start chatting with it on anything CRisk. That's kind of the goal that we have set. So the user manual, what we have done is we have taken the CRisk user manual and fed it into a local large language model, which then processes other stuff and gives you the answers. So you can ask any question that is related to CRisk, and it's going to give you relevant answers. There is just a thing, as any AI, there will be some mistakes that it will make. So we have tried to control as much as possible. So if you're interested in the technology side of the things, so what we have done is basically a retrieval augmented generation. So it combines the AI with the searchable knowledge. Here, the searchable knowledge is nothing but our user manual that we have in CRisk, and it uses vector database to store and retrieve the data, and we have used our Python libraries and C# for document processing. And the model that we are using internally is Fee4, and we have tried to control the hallucinations or the incorrect answers as much as possible using prompt engineering. And it doesn't guarantee that all the answers will be 100%, but we have tried to restrict as much as possible here. And we will be always tracking the questions that you are asking it. And that is basically for the next improvements. In the next iterations, we will be gathering those questions and we will be analyzing the answers, and we'll try to improve our model around it. And this is completely, you don't need to host anything in your app server, so you don't have to involve your IT much for using the CRisk user manual. So everything is hosted in Brady. And one important thing here I would like to highlight is that we are not using any customer data for the user manuals. So we are not passing any customer data into AI for this, and it's only our IP that is being passed into the AI. So it's only Brady IP that goes, and so your data is safe here. So no direct interaction between CRisk. That's why you don't have to install anything, or there is no direct relationship with your database or data for this AI. I'll quickly show a demo of this. So you will be able to access the CRisk UI, CRisk AI user manual from this menu, AI user manual, and it's going to open up something like this. So this is the user interface. It hasn't changed much, as if most of you have seen in the user console. We have tried to stick to the same thing, and we have a small disclaimer here saying that it might make some mistakes, but um, yeah. So I'll just ask a simple question here. Uh, would be So I'm just asking for pre-deal simulation, and it's going to come up with the what pre-deal simulation does and how you can access the pre-deal simulation. So it basically reads the user manual and gives us the details around it. So it is currently giving you the accurate information. Like you can go into the exposure menu and click on pre-deal check, and once that is done, you will be able to see the simulate tab and what are the required deal characteristics deal feeds that you need to enter, and so on. So it gives you detailed information around it. So we have limited the amount that limited the number of limited the quantity of response that it gives us currently, but we look for your feedback also. If you need more, we can increase this threshold and give you a bit more of explanation. So this is kind of the regular explanation that you will get on most of the questions that you ask for. And the beauty of the tool is that even you can ask it for translation. So you don't need to, if somebody needs to translate this into a different language, so German or French or Spanish, if they want to use it, you can directly ask the tool to translate it for you. So I can just say it's going to start responding in CRisk, sorry, in German. So it's going to. So there has been some error here when it came up because it went into the server name and stuff here. So it's again in the user manual that it's picking up from. So it's going to give you a kind of a translation also around it. Uh, we have verified some of the responses in after translation with our colleagues, but hope we will need your help also here, how this translation is going to work and stuff. And how you can access this, as already told you, there will be a link available. From here you can navigate to it, and if you it's not, the access is not enabled for everyone right now. So if you wish to use it, please contact us. We can link your active directory, that, like if you are a cloud user, for example, if you are using Azure AD or AWS or any other cloud providers, then we can directly link your active directory and provide you access. Or else, if you do not have, we have another mechanism where we can provide you with a username and password so that you can log into the AI user manual and use it. Any questions? I think there was one question. Let me go back to that.
The question is from Amin. Will it provide sources for the answers, like
No,
from the user
currently,
manual?
no, currently we are not providing any sources for the answer. So it's basically picking up from the user manual and it's just displaying it. That's a good feedback. I think we'll try and include that option in our next iteration. Any other question?
No, there is only one question. Yeah. So,
So just to reiterate on the AI roadmap. So in the user council which was held on May this year, we emphasized a bit around the research that we'll be taking up on the AI side of CRisk. So this is kind of a high level roadmap that we have set for ourselves for 2026 and 2027. And some customer feedback also has been roadmap. So we are not the main, some of the guiding principles is that we are not going to use any customer data here. So that is one thing. Like even if we are using it will be minimal. We will not be directly connecting to the Cirrus database and exposing all the data into CRisk, into an AI. And the main another principle that we have is it is going to be highly scalable. So it's going to be fast and it's going to serve you the purpose. And another thing that I have written here, which I want to highlight, is that it's going to assist you. It's only going to assist you. It's not going to make any changes directly into CRisk. It's just kind of an assistant platform, as we say. So one use case that we currently have is the agreement processing, which is already we are working on some proof of concepts here, and hopefully in the next user council we'll be able to show some bits around it. So that is the agreement processing. So the goal here is to read the PDF agreements that which is like an unstructured document and populate that agreement into CRisk. So you don't need an Excel sheet. You don't need to structure the agreement or anything. However you receive from the market, you can just push it into CRisk, and it's going to read. And we are going to design an intermediate layer where you will see the details that it is going to push into CRisk, and only on click of approval, then you are going to see those details into CRisk. And then the next one is the rating assistant. So it is basically to assist the credit officers on filling score sheets. So again, it's not going to directly fill it. There will be an intermediate layer that comes up where it will suggest some answers, and if you want to pick it up, you can pick it up or you can ignore it. And with both of these, what we'll be trying to do is we'll be trying to learn from your behaviors. So how you pick up these answers and when do you approve, and we'll try to improve on that. And another interesting use case that we have is to provide you with a credit risk news feed. For example, there can be local news that publishes around any market volatility that you should be aware of. So based on the counterparties that you are trading with, uh, we can easily pull the news from multiple sources and aggregate it and show it in some sort of a dashboard. So that's another use case that we are looking at. So this is our high level AI roadmap. And this is not what I can say right now is it's not a fixed roadmap. So if you have any other suggestion, we are open to it. And we want to work with you to get to shape the AI part of CRisk. Any questions?
Don't see any questions here, Rohit.
All right, then I'll stop. I have stopped sharing. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Drop it in an email, or when you have a support call, you can raise it there. We will be able to answer that at that time also. And yeah,
Yeah, I think Yeah, I think that's all we wanted to share with you. What we have been working on and what are the improvements what we have done for this intermediary release. So yeah, like we said, if you think any more improvements you are looking forward, or you have any other suggestions on any other area features, um, please let us know. We will look for the feasibility inside the system. Okay. Okay. I think if we don't have any more questions, then we will conclude this. Yes, we will
okay,
be
there is.
sharing the release notes. Yeah, we will share the release notes. Yes.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, everyone.